Go to KMBC9's Matt Fleener here. And Matt, you've learned more about what started this entire eviction process, the notice.
Right. We're going to confirm exactly what the eviction was for. However, we have done some digging and tried to find what type of records were out there on the property. And we found that as of today, there is $28,851 that are due in delinquent taxes there on the property. It also looks like, and we're trying to confirm the exact date, but this property just changed hands. And we're not going to confirm any names or anything like that, but according to Jackson County property records, that looks like there was an $18,000 payment that was made on that property by a man who's listed as the new owner of this property. So the last actual tax payment that was made on the property by the man listed as the previous owner was in 2019. So these taxes were delinquent since 2019, right? And so there may have been some sort of disagreement, or may have been, and this is all just, we're all just trying to piece this together, there may have been some disagreement between the previous owner of the property and whether or not he was being asked to move. We don't know. We're trying to find that out, trying to confirm those details. But again, delinquent taxes that were on this property, and again, they were serving court paperwork there today.
And again, we're talking about back taxes, at least according to our reporting so far, which we should mention continues. So perhaps these numbers will change, maybe not. But we're looking at a situation right now. Somebody owed Jackson County $28,851 on this property, and goes back a few years, which, as Brian Johnson was saying earlier this evening, not unusual.
That's right. We also did learn there was another levy that was on the property as well. This is in addition to the taxes, and this was what looks to be like a $32,000 levy. That date of that levy was back on August 1st of 2023. I'm not fully up to speed on levies and how all this works. I'm trying to dig and find exactly how that plays into evictions and you know, trying to figure out how much exactly was owed and that type of thing here. But again, there was a levy from a roofing company, it looks like, against the man listed as the previous property owner. I also want to note something else that we found, and this is in the assessed value of this property. We know Jackson County property taxes have been in the news for the past year or so, a couple of years. The assessed value of this property back in 2021 was $360,000. 2023, it was assessed for $675,500. So that's an assessed value increase of 87%. Right, so quite a bit, and whether or not that played into any sort of delinquent taxes in this situation, those are things that that I know a lot of people will be questioning, including us, in the coming days.
I'm curious, do we know, and we may not, but was this the first attempt at serving an eviction notice on this property? Do we know?
We don't know, but we do know that they will continue to make attempts.
Right. There's a limit.
Right, exactly. As you guys have been reporting, they'll continue to make attempts. We don't know if this was the first. However, it is within what looks to be the past month of this property changing hands here. So, you know, presumably it was one of the first, if not the first, times that this was served. So.
Great reporting, Matt. Thank you so much.